They say power is all about perception, and I guess that's true because perception can be another word for making people believe things that aren't necessarily true. Things like Democrats actually care about and are on the side of real Americans, which sometimes leads to hilarious moments like this one, when they dress Tim Walz up like Elmer Fudd to show that he's a real man's man who loves hunting and guns and drinking beer and hanging out with the guys. But, you know, I think you and I both know the truth about this, that if you give a Democrat a choice between actually defending an American and sticking up for what they like to call an undocumented migrant, well, guess what? They're going to take that second choice, the migrant, every time. Exhibit A, this man, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a man routinely described in the press and by Democrats as a simple Maryland father, a migrant wrongly ripped from the arms of his loving family by Donald Trump's Gestapo and sent to a notorious El Salvadorian gulag.
They mistakenly deported a Maryland father with protected legal status to this horrific prison in El Salvador.
The Marylander married to a U.S. citizen who is a 5-year-old son with autism.
Mr. Garcia was abducted. He is a father. He is a husband. He's a union member.
Well, good news, lefties. That's right, baby. He's coming home. Kilmar's coming back to the U.S. As the left-wing news service Axios first reported it with the headline, quote, "Breaking, wrongly deported Maryland man Kilmar Abrego Garcia is on his way back to the U.S., unquote." But you know what they say, never let the facts get in the way of the good story, because they quickly had to update the yarn when the it was pointed out how this man was actually being portrayed. The new headline was somewhat different, reading, quote, "New, Kilmar Abrego Garcia has been charged with smuggling undocumented immigrants into the U.S., allegedly making more than 100 trips. He also allegedly abused undocumented females and solicited nude photographs and videos from a minor." Well, that's a little bit different. Here's a bit of Attorney General Pam Bondi laying out more of the accusations against this poor Maryland father.
This defendant trafficked firearms and narcotics throughout our country on multiple occasions. They were using vehicles, SUVs, with added seats in the back, floors that had been ripped out, guns, narcotics, children, women, MS-13 members. That is what the grand jury found.
Yes, this is the non-citizen alleged criminal whose rights were so important that the congressman representing the Maryland district where the Maryland father lived flew all the way down to El Salvador to have a drink with him and make sure he was okay. Gosh, so you have to wonder, did that congressman or anybody else going to bat for him do the same with Kilmar's alleged victims? No, of course not. But you see, that's what Democrats and the left do. They take the side of migrants over Americans every day of the week and twice on Sunday if they're accused of committing a crime. There's examples of this all over the country at the moment. This weekend in Los Angeles, many riots broke out when activists decided that they were going to apparently storm a migrant detention center and trap some federal agents inside until they could eventually be rescued by other law enforcement. Elsewhere in the city, ICE agents were barricaded inside a store for their own safety after an angry crowd tried to stop them arresting to deport illegal migrants. I gotta say, it feels like we're about to see a replay of 2020's Summer of Love in the U.S., only with radicals targeting armed ICE agents instead of Main Street shopkeepers. Well, yeah, I'm sure that's gonna go really well for them. But it's not just L.A. In Boston, hard-left Mayor Michelle Wu has compared ICE agents to Nazis. Why? Because they wear masks.
Just to clarify, are you comparing ICE, you said, to NSC 131, the neo-Nazi group? Are you comparing them to a neo-Nazi group?
What I said is that Boston police and no police department that I know of at the local level routinely wears masks.
Ah, yes, masks. Hey, Ms. Wu, Your Honor, is that you? Huh. Anyway, meanwhile, back in the old hometown of New York, radical leftists have been trying to interfere with ICE agents picking up detainees even in courthouses. Look at that on your screen there. While mayoral candidates for the upcoming Democrat mayor primary are falling all over themselves to say just how much they will stand up against ICE agents coming in to deport illegal aliens, even keeping them out of prisons.
I will always be a mayor that will stand up for our immigrants. Donald Trump's ICE has no place on Rikers Island. Donald Trump's ICE has no place pulling our people that are taking their legal court dates now. No rights.
Thank you.
Not in my New York.
Ah, yes, no ICE agents at New York's infamous prison, Rikers Island. With the Democrats, you know, it really is a case of the inmates running the asylum.